You're watching Let the Quran Speak, and now we answer your questions. If you have a question, visit our website, QuranSpeaks.com. The question is, my adult child committed a terrible haram act. I have cut her off. She's not allowed to contact me or visit my home. This is causing division in the family because my wife thinks I'm wrong to do so. Please advise me on what is the best course of action.
Yeah, so Safiyyah, there's no simple rule about this, and circumstances, merit different approaches. There was a circumstance, let's say, in our past when Muslim communities were strong, and if, let's say, somebody had a difficulty with the parents tried to cut them off just so that becomes a lesson for the others, then that child may be able to go stay with some grandparents or stay with some uncles, aunts, and so on. And still, there's a larger extended family structure that can cater for such a child, while at the same time, this ostracism will help to fortify the Muslim community and keep everyone on the straight and narrow. It becomes a lesson to the others. It's not all hunky-dory, you do whatever you want, and still you're welcome as if nothing has changed, right? You suffer some consequences. And we see examples of this. In fact, in the Quran, it is mentioned that in the 60th chapter, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ فِي إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مَعَهُ. You will find in Abraham and those who were with him a good example for you when they said to their people that we are, distanced from you. We have nothing to do with you because of your disobedience of God and turning away from the pure worship of God and so on. So you have examples of this. In the New Testament, Paul, warns against associating with people who are bent on doing evil things. This has become known in religious circles that, you insist on what is right, and those who are with you, yes, those who are doing the right, they're with you, and those who decide to go wrong, well, we part company, right? To each his own. But now, in a different circumstance, like we have in our situation here in Canada, where Muslims are few, we're a minority, and the larger environment around us is actually very easily sucking people in and getting them melted away from their Islamic principles into the larger melting pot, then we have to be circumspect about which approach to take here. So generally, I advise people to not cut off their children, but to live with the difficult the part, that you have a child here who is not following the religious dictates or whatever your principles are. Sometimes people are not necessarily so religious, but they have certain principles which they are going to insist upon, and then the child goes against that. What are they going to do? So here we have the situation where the father apparently is taking a strict stance and saying, okay, you're cut off, and the rest of the family saying, no, let's keep this child in the home. I think this is the better approach, to keep the child in the home, because bad as it is, they have chosen the wrong path already. But if you kick them out of the house, then many more possible wrong things are going to be open for them. In fact, they're, whatever good they could have continued to do while they're still in the house, this may become even choked off from them because they have new challenges to meet. If you think of the challenges of homelessness, you think of drugs on the street, you think of crime, somebody may join a gang because they had a family structure already, but now if they're cut off from family, they're going to seek new associates. And, so many possibilities for going wrong and doing even more wrong are there. Now, of course.
And then, when you think of the parental relationship, it's sort of a microcosm of the relationship of God with a human being, right? The parental relationship with a child, there's some sort of similarity there. Like when you close that door, it feels like that's final, right? There's no way for that person to come back into your good graces, into your mercy, into your forgiveness, into your love again.
Yes, and we should stress that, keeping the child in the home does not mean that we condone all evils. It means, or any evil. It means that we're giving that child a better chance to do less wrong and to do more good.
And to turn back to God.
And to turn back to God, right? With our guidance and continued help and support and understanding and so on. Now, we should add here, Safiyyah, that what is at work also is the personal shame. It's not only the and the family honor. It's not only just the problem that the child has done wrong and we want to correct that child. It is that the family feels that something has been torn away from them. That veneer of, I don't want to call it veneer as if it's something insignificant, but that, everything the family has been working towards to build a good honor and reputation in society for good purposes, not for our vainglory, but, one wants to live in an upright way, and one wants to be known to be upright. We don't want to be classified with sinners, but that gets torn away, and now everybody's going to look at this home and say this home has this child. So it's a matter of people want to protect their honor, but we should remind everyone and ourselves that we have no control over our children and over their minds at that level. And great prophets of God had children who were disobedient. Adam, who is believed to be the first prophet among Muslims, had at one time 2 sons. One killed the other. One committed murder. Noah, a great prophet of God, when he built the ark and called his believers to come into the ark, in the Quranic story, his son did not come into the ark. He said, I'll go to a mountain and that will save me from whatever flood will come. But of course, the flood engulfed him too, according to the Quranic story. So, having a disobedient family member, this is nothing new in the Quran. This is the story of the great prophets of God. So if it happens to us, we're no better than the prophets. We just have to live with that and move on for the best possible outcome for the future. And it is better to keep the children at home so that we can continue to coax them, persuade them, and do the best we can with them to bring them back to the straight and narrow.
Great advice, Dr. Shabir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Muslim Media Hub, the new home of Let the Quran Speak.
Here we spread positivity and good. We help people experience the beauty of Islam and help them appreciate and understand Muslims.
This beautiful building we purchased at cost $2.3 million.
Yeah, we've already raised 1/3 of that money, and with your help, inshallah, we can pay off the rest.
So we're looking for people who can give $1,000 each. If you can be part of the select group, that's amazing.
Otherwise, just please give whatever you can. Every dollar counts.
It's our collective responsibility to share the message of Islam with our fellow human beings. Please help us continue this good work.
It's a sadaqah jariyah, something that will continue to be a benefit to the Muslim community long after Safiyyah and I are gone.
Please support our work at muslimmediahub.com.
Your support is zakat eligible and tax deductible.
May Allah bless you and your loved ones today and always. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.